Okay, so sitting here in a review session, I have Justin Robinson with me. Justin actually recommended that another student's idea with this mnemonic of using the x and y axis could be drawn a little differently so that it makes sense more mathematically. The y axis in math usually gets graphed second. So Justin sees that as the stimulus, whereas the x axis, graphed first in math, will be the behavior. And we have here where the behavior increases. What's it always called, Justin, when the behavior increases?
That would always be reinforcement.
So on the right-hand side, we have reinforcement both ways. And again, reinforcement always makes behavior what?
Increase. You always
Great.
increase behavior.
Great. And when behavior is decreased, what do we call that?
That would always be punishment.
Okay, so here on this side, behavior decreases, and we're going to call that punishment. Okay, keep going, Justin. Now we're going to add the y-axis.
Okay. The way I think of the y-axis is adding or taking away a stimulus. So for a positive, we would be adding a stimulus on the upper side. So positive reinforcement is when you want to increase a behavior, so you add a pleasant stimulus. And when you want to increase a behavior, but you're going to take away an aversive stimulus, that would then be negative reinforcement.
Excellent. Okay, so let me have add a stimulus. And so here we are adding one to make the behavior go up.
Mm-hmm.
And then down here you're saying it takes away a stimulus.
Yep. And that stimulus would, for reinforcement, be an aversive stimulus.
Okay. And what was it in positive reinforcement?
You want to add a pleasant stimulus. And then when you have punishment, you want to decrease behavior, so you would add an aversive stimulus for positive punishment. And then when you want to decrease behavior, so you remove a pleasant stimulus, that would then be negative punishment.
Remove a pleasant.
Remove a pleasant, yes.
Excellent. So maybe do some examples, Justin, how you see this and why you like this way better.
Okay, so when I think of you reward a child when it says its first word, you want the behavior to increase, you want the child to learn more words, so you will react positively for the child to react better, so you would have positive reinforcement.
Excellent.
So another example would be if you want to put away your clothes, hang them up in your closet, you want that, but your parents will keep nagging you and nagging you and nagging you until you do it. The parents want the behavior of you putting the clothes away to increase. And you'll do that once they take away the stimulus of the nagging. So
Nice.
that would be negative reinforcement.
What I really love about your way, Justin, is it is more about the way Skinner saw that first the behavior occurs, which is X, and then the consequence is added. And that was how he saw the contingency, that first behavior is dependent on then the consequence. That is awesome. Thanks, Justin.
Mm-hmm.
If you're studying, we're going to now move on to the next page of the packet where there's some examples, and Justin's going to go over how he did these, and he really gets this. So if this is a way that helps you, you can draw the X and Y axis this way, or you could use the YouTube video the way we learned it in class, and now you can try to do the second page, which has some examples. And I'm going to refresh this page and upload that here so we could use that in the same video. That was awesome. Thanks, Justin, for thinking about that more mathematically. Let's see how this works out so we could draw on it. All right, we at least got up to number 13. Oh, I can scroll it. That's awesome. Oh, my goodness. All right, so let's do this first one.
All right, so number 1, a woman watching a football game offers her child candy to play quietly. We want to increase the behavior of playing quietly, so we know that is reinforcement. And since the woman is giving her child a pleasant stimulus, we know that to be positive reinforcement.
Okay, so just to go over again, Justin, because this confuses a lot of kids. Whenever behavior goes up, what are we calling it?
We call that reinforcement.
And whenever behavior goes down, we call it?
Punishment.
And whenever we say positive, what do we mean?
When we think of positive,
like in this example, the candy.
that would be the stimulus.
Right, we're adding a stimulus. And whenever we say negative,
we are taking away the stimulus in this example. For number 2, at a party, a husband becomes sullen when his wife flirts with a colleague. The husband does not want the wife to do this, so we want to decrease behavior, so that would be punishment. And the husband, being sullen, is giving an aversive stimulus to the wife. So number 2 would be positive punishment. Number 3, employee of the month gets a reserved parking space. That would be positive reinforcement because the company would want the employees to do better. So they increase the behavior, so they gave a rewarding stimulus of the parking space. Number 4, a child is put in a chair facing the corner for misbehaving. The person that put the child into the chair wants the child to misbehave less, so that would be a punishment. And since that person gave the child an aversive stimulus, that would be positive punishment. Number 5, a mother smiles when her child utters mama. Well, I brought that example up a bit earlier with the child saying the first word. That would be positive reinforcement because you want the child to increase that behavior, so that's reinforcement. And you do that by rewarding with the smile, so that would be positive reinforcement.
Awesome.
For number 6, a child receives $5 for earning good grades in school. That again would be positive reinforcement because getting good grades wants to be increased, so you give a rewarding stimulus, which is positive. So number 6 would be positive reinforcement. Number 7, a professor gives extra credit to students with perfect attendance. That would be positive reinforcement because we want to increase the behavior of attendance going to the class, so the professor rewards them, gives a pleasant stimulus for going to class.
I like the phrase pleasant stimulus. I think Skinner would have liked that. Excellent.
All right, number 8. A rat presses a lever to terminate a shock. We want to increase the behavior of the rat pressing the lever, so that will be reinforcement. And the rat wants to take away the shock, so it wants to take away the aversive stimulus. So number 8 will be negative reinforcement because the rat wants to take away that stimulus of the shock.
And again, your way of X comma Y, first the rat has to press the lever in order for that shock to get taken away. And that's that key part that I think your graph really does a good job with.
All right, number 9. A wife is nagging her husband to take out the trash. We want to increase the behavior of the husband taking out the trash. So we know that to be reinforcement. So when we have the wife that will constantly nag, the husband wants to stop that stimulus because it's aversive. So number 9 would be negative reinforcement. Number 10. A prisoner loses TV privileges for 1 week for a rule violation. That would be punishment because we want to decrease the behavior of the rule violation, so we removed a pleasant stimulus. So number 10 would be negative punishment.
Excellent.
Number 11, scolding a child for playing in the street. We want to decrease the behavior of playing in the street, so that would be punishment. So then you added an aversive stimulus by scolding, so that 11 would be positive punishment. Number 12, a child receives a spanking for biting her brother. That would be punishment because we want to decrease the behavior of biting, and it would be positive punishment because we are adding an aversive stimulus of the child getting spanked.
This is awesome, Justin. You sounding like a teacher. A lot of teachers don't get these concepts, so you're doing great. 3 more to go.
Okay. Number 13, not allowing a teenager to attend a planned sleepover after discovering a candy bar she had stolen from the store. We want to decrease the behavior of stealing from the store, so that would be punishment. And because we are taking away a pleasant stimulus of the sleepover, number 13 would be negative punishment. Number 14, a student is dropped from all courses after cheating on a test. This again would be negative punishment because we want to decrease the behavior of cheating on a test. So we are taking away the pleasant stimulus of the courses. So 14 would be negative punishment. And then number 15, there's 2 parts to this question. A parent puts a quarter in a child's piggy bank for each nice or helpful gesture the child performs and removes a quarter from each mean or selfish gesture the child performs. For the first part, that would be positive reinforcement because we want the behavior of being nice or helpful to increase. So you give the child a quarter, a pleasant stimulus, to increase the behavior. And then the second part of this question will be negative punishment because we want to decrease the behavior of being mean or selfish. So we take away the pleasant stimulus, of removing a quarter.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Justin.